Let's talk about the new lifting meta, constraints-based training. Once you understand this, it will feel like you just broke out of jail. It's going to feel like Gorlock the Destroyer just got off your shoulders. You will get the best gains. You will get the most gains you've ever gotten because you are doing constraints-based training. This essentially means understanding your constraints and working around them, not working through them. You have to work with your constraints, not against them. Once you do this, you will get more gains. Why should you listen to me? I am a fourth year mechanical engineering student and I have been bodybuilding for just about 4.5 years. This picture on the left was me at 120 pounds. This picture on the right was taken just a few days ago at 163 pounds roughly. My highest bulk was 175 pounds and I'm on a cut. Now I'm at 163. This is what I look like. This is what I started. I started as a skinny fat kid who had no idea what he was doing. And now I've gotten a pretty good physique and I have plenty to show for it. The reason I said I am a mechanical engineering student is because I have been taught to create and analyze systems. Systems are organized frameworks and methods. This is an organized framework and method. This is not just some random advice. It's like, oh, do this, do that. No, it's like, this is how you do it. Once you do this, you will get this result. And I promise that. Recognizing patterns is a big part of mechanical engineering. If you don't recognize patterns, you're going to fail the course. And if you're going to fail the course, you're just going to fail and drop out, which is not something you want to do. So recognizing patterns is a skill that I've built and I've gotten pretty good at because I have a 4.0 GPA in mechanical engineering. Here's what I've noticed in bodybuilding. The biggest problem with lifting, here's a video of me and my buddy, some random stupid skit. The biggest problem in lifting is most advice is very generalized. It works for most people, but what happens when you are not part of the general population and the advice doesn't work for you? The advice is not going to work for you and you're going to be smaller because of it. Some people say, do this split to get more gains. And other people says, don't do that. Don't listen to him. Do this split for more gains. Who's right? They're both probably right, but in their own different way. Viewers get confused because of this, and this leads to the viewer just doing random stupid stuff in the meantime before they figure out what's best for them. That was exactly me whenever I started lifting. I was an absolute nerd and I had absolutely no arms. As you can see, I didn't even fill the shirt out. Now the shirt doesn't fit me and I cannot wear it. I was one of those viewers. In the summer of 2021, whenever I started bodybuilding, I loved it. I really loved it. So I spent countless hours researching and learning how to get bigger biceps, researching and learning what the best exercise is, the most optimal exercise and the most optimal split and stuff like that. What did this lead to? This just led to me getting delayed progress. I've been working out for over 4 years, but I really do think that I could have gotten this physique in less than that. I think I could have gotten here in 3 years, maybe even 2.5 years, if I understood what to do, if I understood my constraints, because the general advice did not work for me. The general advice did not work for me. It got me here. This is year 3. Year 3. Year 3 is also whenever I started to understand this method of constraints-based training. When I started to understand this, I went from here, year 3, to here, year 4.5. This was taken just a few weeks ago. I've gotten noticeably bigger in just 1.5 years, even though I'm way past my newbie gains phase. My shoulder has gotten way bigger, my arms have gotten bigger, my chest has gotten way bigger, my traps have gotten bigger because of the constraints-based training, because I understood what I needed to do. I needed to figure out what I needed to do, not listen to the general advice on the internet. Understanding this changed the game. So in engineering, I promise this is the most complex I'm going to get in the video. I'm not going to get very complex after this. In engineering, we do this thing for every single problem that we work out. It's called SOP, Standard Operating Procedure. Basically, it is just this part right here. When we are given a problem statement, we like to write given, find, and solution. We write down what we are given. We write down what is given in this problem statement right here. What do we want to find? It's this other determine blah, 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 blah. And then the solution. When we do this, it makes the problem flowing so much easier. Writing down my givens and finds makes like, oh yeah, I know this. Oh yeah, I want to find this. Okay, do this. We are going to do the same thing for your physique. We need to write down our givens. We need to write down what we want to find and then the solution. Given. What are we given in bodybuilding? Well, we're given our circumstances, which is a very general term, and our constraints. This is what we want to focus on. We want to focus on our constraints because this is what is holding us back. Constraints is basically something that is holding you back, like a bottleneck, but you can't work through it. You have to work with it. You can't just work against it. It's something there right now. And a good note is that it might not be there forever. You might get rid of it. So for example, on a highway, speed limit is 50 miles per hour. That is a constraint. The speed limit is a constraint. Could you go faster than that? Yes, you could work through the constraint by speeding. You could go 55, you can go 60, but eventually you can't like keep going like this. Let's say you go 75 miles per hour. If you go 75 miles per hour on a 50 mile per hour speed limit zone, if the police catches you, you're cooked. You're going to get a ticket, maybe even a felony warning. That's not a good thing. That's the same thing that's going to happen in your physique. If you have constraints right now and you just try to work through that rather than working with it, you're going to burn out. You're not going to make the gains you want, and then you're going to quit the gym, which is stupid. You don't want to be that guy who just quits the gym. Constraints is the main topic in this video. What do we want to find? We want to find our local optimum. Local optimum. This essentially means in bodybuilding terms, it's our best move under current constraints. It may not be the best thing to do in the end. It may not be the very best thing to do, but it's the best thing we can do right now. And that's what matters. Don't worry about like, maybe push-pull legs is the best split for you to do right now, but maybe it's not the best split in the end for you. Maybe full body is the best split for you, even though I think full body is a trash split. Push-pull legs might be the best thing for you to do right now. So you should do push-pull legs right now. Stop worrying about global optimum and focus on the local optimum. And then this leads us to our solution. The first thing that we need to do, we already wrote our given, but we need to write it again because that's basically the biggest problem in this whole thing. Write out and understand your constraints. Again, constraints is like a bottleneck. This is the constraint right here. It is literally hindering your progress. This is you at 135-pound bench. And let's say you're doing something stupid right now. You're being an idiot. And here's you want 225 pounds, but you're making little progress to it. Understanding your constraints is going to open this up. Once you understand this video, this is going to open up. And you're going to make more progress fast as possible to get to 225-pound bench, because 225-pound bench, you should do that. Everyone should do that. This should be a number that everyone should strive for and get. So let's get into the very first type of constraint, life constraints. So for example, time is a very big life constraint. Here's a calendar. Maybe you just don't have the time to go to the gym 6 days a week. What happens if you choose a split? You went online, searched up what is the best split. Someone says 6 days a week, push-pull legs. You choose that split, but you only have time for 3 days a week. If you chose a split that is designed to go 6 days a week, but you're only going 3 days a week, you're not using that split to its fullest potential, because the person who designed that split designed it with the fact in mind that the person using it is going to go 6 days a week and use it to the fullest extent. But you're only going 3 days a week, so you're not using it to the fullest extent. So you're probably not even getting the most amount of gains possible with that split. So you need to understand your time constraints. Are you able to go 6 days a week? Are you able to go 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week, whatever? It can mean you not even go at all. Understand it, because if you don't understand it, it's going to deteriorate your mental health. And that leads me to the next type of life constraint, and that is stress. Let's say you're in a very stressful period of your life. You're going to work, your tire blows out, a bunch of bad stuff happens in one day, you just get super stressed. That day, you're probably not going to go to the gym. Your tire's blown out, so you're probably not going to the gym because of that. But like, the stress alone is going to make you not want to go. Like, whenever I have a super stressful time, like let's say during my finals, sometimes it gets a little stressful. Sometimes I have to okay, I got to study, bro. If I don't study, I'm not going to get an A. So then I might not go to the gym because of that. And if you choose a split, again, if you choose a split designed to go 6 days a week, but you're just in a very stressful period of your life, you're not going to go those 6 days a week. You're probably not even going to go 3 times a week. You're going to go like once or twice because you're so stressed out. And that leads me to the next life constraint. That is sleep. Oh man. Sleep. What if in this time period in your life, you're just not getting enough sleep? Like family matters, I don't know, you're just staying up too late, you're just in a bad position, and you're not getting enough sleep. If you don't get enough sleep, you're not going to gain muscle. No matter how hard you train in the gym, if you do not sleep, you're not going to recover, you're not going to build any muscle. So you need to choose a split based on how much sleep you're getting. If you're getting enough sleep, then it's good. If you're not, that's probably an issue, and then you need to work on that. The next type of constraints, body constraints. This is another big category. This is things like joint pain, injuries, and weak points. This is the one I struggle with the most. I have joint pain and I have had injuries before. Here's my first ever injury, and I think my only one. Hopefully I don't get another one. So around in May 2022, I fractured my finger. I was doing T-bar rows and I fractured my finger. And here's like a jerry rig setup to keep it straight for a little while. I could not grip anything. I could not do anything upper body related because everything upper body required me to grip onto something. So this was just not possible for me to do. I could not do upper body. I had to design a split based on my body constraint, which was just me doing leg day. I was cursed to do leg day over and over with no option to do upper body until like after 2 months. And then I kind of like was able to start gripping. I was like gripping like this. I was basically flipping people off when I would do curls. Eventually I would get over the pain, but in the immediate vicinity, the local optimum for me was to do leg day and nothing else, which just kind of sucked. And just last month, I had this quadricep tendinopathy. This is knee pain. This is a type of joint pain. I think joint pain, muscle pain, or something like that. Where I would get pain right above my knee, and I could not do anything quad related other than these things. I had to design a split with the help of a close friend. We designed a split, or actually it was him. It wasn't me, it was him. He designed a split for me to recover, like a rehab leg day. I kept my upper body work the same. My push and pull leg days were exactly the same because, I'm not using my knee on bicep curls. But my leg days, I had to completely change it. I couldn't do anything quad related, so no squats, no leg press, no Bulgarians, even though I love doing Bulgarians. I actually do. I couldn't do any of that. I had to do wall sits, single leg wall sits eventually after I got pretty good at wall sits. The quad isometric, I'm not going to go into what these are. But anyways, I had to do rehab stuff because my constraint at that time was I couldn't do leg day. Just like here, I couldn't do anything upper body. Here, I basically couldn't do leg day. I could do RDLs and stuff, but other than that, not really. I couldn't do the most fun part, which was the quads. That was my constraint at the time. And the last type of constraint is body constraint is weak points. This is big. If you are a beginner, meaning if you just started working out, I don't think you should focus on this portion of the video or this portion of body constraints. You should focus on the other constraints, but not this one, because you don't know what your weak points are. You need to work out for probably like 8 months to a year at least before understanding what your weak points are, because you just don't know. Like back here, my weak points was everything. I needed to work on everything. I had no arms, no biceps, no triceps, no shoulders, no chest, no abs, no quads, no nothing. No neck. It looked like an idiot. I had nothing. So everything was my weak point. So I had to work out everything. I picked a pretty general thing. But once you get intermediate, so after a year, that's when you should start looking at your weak points. For example, right now, I would say my weak point is shoulders. I think my weak points right now are shoulders. So I'm going to design my split literally right after this video. I'm going to design my split based on shoulder work because I want to get bigger shoulders. That's what I need to focus on to make my physique better overall. That is my current constraint. So my local optimum is to get bigger shoulders. So the easiest way to figure out what is your weak point is literally just take your shirt off, take off all your clothes, go in the mirror and just look at your body. Are your shoulders small or your biceps small, whatever, chest, anything, your dick, whatever, I don't know, something small, fix it. You design your split based on that weak point, based on that constraint, so you can get to your local optimum. That leads me to the next type of constraint, mind constraints. This one is a little more abstract. The next few are a little more abstract than the first two. These two you should spend the most time on thinking. What are your life constraints? What are your body constraints? Because these have the biggest return on investment out of these five. But all these fives have really high return on investment because I'm goated. So your mind constraints. These are things like identity and motivation, and maybe even patience. So identity. I love identities. Identity. Most beginners, most people who want to start working out, keyword want to start working out, tell other people, I've been meaning to start working out. I want to start working out soon. I want to start looking good. That person saying, you saying, I want to start working out, you are identifying with a person who wants to start working out. So you're going to act like a person who wants to start working out. Rather, you need to shift your identity into saying, I am a bodybuilder. I am a powerlifter, whatever. I'm a runner, whatever you want to do. In my case, I am a bodybuilder. Here, I did not think I'm a bodybuilder. I wanted to be one. So I would do stupid stuff. I would be really nerdy. But around here, I started to realize, okay, probably sooner than year 2, year 3, but around like year 1, year 2, I started to realize I'm a bodybuilder. Going to the gym was just a normal thing for me. Going to the gym as a bodybuilder, bodybuilding itself is just something a bodybuilder does. Going to the gym is not a problem for me. I don't need motivation. I don't have space. Motivation. I don't need motivation to go to the gym. It's just something I do. Going to the gym is just something I do. It's part of my day now. It's part of my week. It's like David Goggins. Running is just part of his life. Running is part of his life. Swimming is part of, even though he hates swimming, swimming is part of his life. All these different habits are just part of his life because that's how he lives. He has conquered his mind constraints of identity and motivation. He has gotten past that because eventually motivation will wear out. Right now, I don't really have motivation to go to the gym. I just go to the gym. It's just discipline at this point. The next thing, environment constraints. Again, not as important as life, body, and mind, but it's still important. Environment constraints is literally just like things around you. So let's say your family is just super annoying and they just hate you going to the gym. If you're Indian like me, your mom's gonna be like, you should not go to the gym, you stay home. You don't need to be big. Don't go boxing, don't do anything. But I'm gonna do it anyways. It's a constraint of mine, but it's not like a big one. I can kind of work through it. Maybe the gym itself is a constraint. For example, let's say you go to a public gym, 5 p.m. 5 p.m. is the busiest hour, and that is the only hour you have to go. Maybe that's a constraint for you. Maybe you're like, man, I hate people. I don't want to see this random gorilla on my leg press. That could be a constraint for you. So for you to get a better workout, maybe you should shift your workout time. Or maybe if you have enough money for this, you could build a gym at your home so you can just work out at home. Or maybe working out at home is a constraint for you. Maybe you just can't find the motivation to get out of bed to work out at home. That could be a constraint for you. So maybe you need to get a membership at a gym. The next type of constraint, skill constraints. So this is basically just, are you good at it? If you're doing plate loaded lat pull down like this, if you're levitating, you're probably not doing very good. Or maybe you're doing really, really good, and maybe I haven't gotten to this point yet. Basically, you just need to work on your technique. If your technique is not up to par. If you're levitating on your bicep curls, if you just do lat pull downs and you just start levitating, that could be a technique issue. That could be a technique. Realistically, let's say you're on lat pull down and you're just like, you're doing this constantly. You like pull it and then you do this. Doing this motion, that's not really lats. You're gonna be doing a lot of forearms and biceps at that point. That's a technique issue. You need to fix your technique, because once you fix your technique, then your back is gonna grow a lot. Any muscle, whatever you're working out, is gonna grow a lot faster. If you're doing it wrong, you're not gonna grow as fast. So your constraint right now is probably your technique. Fix your technique first so you can find your local optimum the fastest. And then you're gonna get bigger because of it. God, I keep burping. I just ate chana. All right. Here's just a quick picture of all of them in one list. Again, really, really focus on these two. Life and body constraints. This is probably where you'll write down the most. Mind constraints, you got to be honest with yourself. Are you disciplined enough? Do you identify with, I am a bodybuilder, or do you want to say, I want to be a bodybuilder? I want to fix these constraints, or I am fixing these constraints. If you are fixing these constraints, take 5 minutes and run through this whole list. Write down life constraints and then write down all of them. Is time a constraint? How so? Are you able to go how many days a week? Is stress a constraint? Are you really stressed today? Are you really stressed right now? Maybe this month, maybe this week. What about sleep? You sleeping good? Again, body, weak points if you are past beginner. If you're a beginner, I wouldn't worry about weak points. But if you have joint pain and if you're injured, obviously design a split based around that. Your mind, fix your mind. You're probably too stupid, bro. I'm just kidding. Fix your mind, fix your identity, fix your motivation, and then the rest will come. Again, environment, go to the gym. Skill constraints, again, technique. Get good at it. Don't be levitating during your workouts. If you're doing this, tell me how to do it. I kind of want to do it. It looks cool. So this is the new meta for training. I kid you not. This is the new meta for training. Constraints-based, this is going to take forever, right? Constraints-based training is the new meta for lifting. Understand your constraints, and then you will grow faster, because this training method is going to find your local optimum. You constantly find your local optimums, then you will find your global optimum faster. You will get to your goal faster. You won't take 3 years to go from this to this. You'll take maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years if you understand this method. This is the new meta for training. Train hard with understanding your constraints. Train with your constraints, not against them. Work with them. Mark my words. This is the new meta. People will be moving to this soon. I've already kind of seen it online. Like, people nowadays are saying, work out 3 days a week. And I'm getting jacked because of it. And a lot of people are like, oh yeah, me too. This is working well for me. And some people are like, no, that doesn't work for me. I need to work out 6 days a week. Some guy says, I want to work out 6 days a week. And people are like, oh yeah, this works really well for me. And other people are like, no, 3 days a week works well for me. Well, they're both probably right. They're both not wrong. This is the new meta. They have their own constraints. Understand your constraints. Find your local optimums and get bigger faster. You know what to do. Get up and get after it. Boom!